You got me down again.
Hello growers and welcome back to the Head Cheese Seed Club. I am Joe and today for you we have a highly requested video. Off of my last video, you guys wanted to know how to build this DIY dollar store Cannatrol, and well, I am here to deliver. So without any further ado, and to start it off, I'm going to give you guys a parts and price list so you can decide if it's something worth building for yourself. Now here's your shopping list. You're going to want a Home Depot wardrobe box. Going to get yourself two 4x8 sheets of 1-inch insulation, a Peltier cooling module to cool everything down. You're going to also want an Inkbird humidistat to control the dehumidifier and the humidifier, a 12-volt 30-amp power supply to juice all that, a temperature controller to turn on and off the Peltiers, and a variable speed fan to mix everything up. Total of $265.02. Now a quick disclaimer, if you're not good with electronics, I probably wouldn't delve too far into this project. That said, let's take a closer look at all these components. The wardrobe box measures 44 by 24 by 24. The foam board isn't anything special, I just picked up 2 sheets of it at the local hardware store, Home Depot to be exact. It only goes for a couple bucks a sheet and it does a decent job at keeping the cooled air in and the warm air out. Now you're going to need 4 tall vertical panels. 2 of them are cut 24 inches by 42 inches. The other 2 are cut 22 inches wide by 42 inches. The top and bottom panels both have the same dimensions of 24 inches by 24 inches. You only cut them 42 tall so you can fit them in the box nice and square. In the top panel, I ended up cutting a hole about here to fit the Peltier cooling module. Speaking of the Peltier module, this is it here. It has 2 modules that are sandwiched between heat risers that allow the hot air to be blown off the top and allows the bottom side to cool down the box. Now, I wouldn't get this one that you see here. It has really bad heat transfer. That aluminum block just does no good. The one with the riser pipes works way better. This one is hot, stinky doo-doo. The Inkbird humidistat allows you to set a predetermined humidity value and will cycle the humidifier and dehumidifier when needed. Now for the dehumidifier, I got a cheapo $40 one. This would work for the box, but definitely not a full room. But for our purposes of drying some plants, it works in a 2x2 space. The humidifier is nothing revolutionary either. You just want to make sure both items have manual controls. That way the Inkbird can turn them on and off and they won't reset if the power to them stops. The power supply I used is off of an old 3D printer that I had laying around, but it works the tune just fine. It's 12 volts, 30 amps, more than enough to drive the system, which uses about 200 watts on average when at full chooch. The temperature controller just controls the Peltiers and the upper fans. You set it to a predetermined temperature and it will kick the fans on and off as needed to maintain 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And last but not least, a variable speed fan. That way we can circulate some air around the box. I like it with the variable speed. That way I can turn it down really low and just barely move the air around in the box. Alrighty, let's get this bad mamma jamma together. So first up, we're gonna take the box, put it together like you would, flip it over, and you got yourself the little 2x2 space. First, you take the bottom panel without the hole in it and put it down into the base. I numbered them all so I know which order they go in. Second, the back goes in, then you're going to put the 2 sides in, and then you can see that they fit snugly with the cuts. A little hot humidifier action goes into the back corner. Next goes the dehumidifier, and the last vertical panel goes in. Then I installed the crossbar that the box actually came with. I cut 2 holes in the sides, that way you can fit it snugly. I also made another bar out of a piece of copper pipe to get a little more hanging room. You can see from the top view down basically what it's going to look like inside, and that way you've got plenty of room to dry a couple plants. On slides the variable speed fan with a couple of hangers made out of wire. And here we have a custom hung basket that has a towel in it normally to catch condensation. On top of that, we slide in our Peltier cooler modules that fit in the pre-made hole. Next, we set the temperature controller to 15.5 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time to slide the temperature probe and the humidity probe down into the box so that the humidity controller and temperature controller can work their magic. Everything's set to 60. The humidifier kicks on and begins to humidify the box. Here's a shot of the condensation I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it drips off, and that's why I have that little towel hanger made out of a cheap basket. So we cut down our plant, and it's time. Everything's all set. All we got to do is put the plant into the box, and away she goes. Here she will sit for about 10 to 12 days if I can keep everything working just right. And you can see there's room for a couple of plants in there. I fit my 3x3 in here last time, no big deal. So that's pretty much in. You slap on the lid and away she goes to drying the plants off. If you guys want more specifics, go ahead and feel free to join us over in the Discord. If you need a wiring diagram, I'd be glad to help. I didn't want to get too far in, but this should get you where you need to go. Guys, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.